The whisper cut through the auditorium like a blade. Poor girl. It spread from row to row, soft but sharp, as a small figure stood alone on the bright stage, her shoulders slightly hunched under the weight of too many eyes. In the back of the room, a single father tightened his grip on the edge of his seat, his chest burning with a mix of pride and fear, because he knew how much it had cost his daughter just to stand there, breathing under the lights, refusing to run. Before the story truly unfolds, take a moment, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, in the quiet strength of people who keep going even when the world whispers against them, please like this video, share it, comment, and subscribe to the channel, Soul Speak Stories. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. The father's name was Daniel, though most people in town only knew him as the quiet widower or that guy who works late shifts. 3 years earlier, his life had been neatly split in two by a rainy night phone call that no one ever recovers from. One moment, his wife had been driving home from work, laughing on the phone about dinner plans. The next, Daniel was standing in a hospital hallway that smelled of disinfectant and endings, being told he would have to raise their daughter alone. Grief settled into his bones like winter, but there was no time to fall apart completely. Lily was only 8 then, all wide eyes and trembling questions, and she needed him to be solid when the world had suddenly cracked open. Money became a constant ache. Daniel worked long hours fixing industrial machines, his hands permanently scarred and stained with grease, his back always sore. Evenings were a blur of reheated meals, laundry folded at midnight, and helping Lily with homework while fighting exhaustion. Yet through it all, Lily carried something bright inside her. She sang. She sang while brushing her teeth, while doing math homework, while sitting on the porch waiting for Daniel to come home. Singing was the one place where grief didn't seem to touch her, where her mother's absence turned into something softer, almost bearable. The school announced the annual talent show like it always did, cheerful posters taped to hallway walls. Daniel almost missed the sign-up deadline because he was working overtime, but Lily noticed. She stood in the kitchen one night, her voice small but steady, and told him she wanted to sing on stage. Not for fame, not for applause, just because it felt like breathing. Daniel smiled and said yes immediately, then spent the rest of the night staring at the ceiling, worrying about everything that could go wrong. The weeks leading up to the show were harder than he expected. Lily practiced in their tiny living room, her voice sometimes soaring, sometimes cracking under nerves. Daniel listened while cooking or fixing a broken chair, nodding encouragement even when doubt crept in. He knew how cruel kids could be, how quick adults were to judge. Lily was shy, wore hand-me-down clothes, and carried the quiet sadness of a child who had lost too much too soon. He feared the world would see her as fragile instead of brave. The night of the talent show arrived cold and bright. The school auditorium buzzed with laughter, proud parents, and the rustle of programs. Daniel sat alone in the back row, his work jacket folded neatly on his lap, scanning the room for familiar faces and finding none. Lily was backstage, waiting her turn, and every minute felt like an hour. Acts passed quickly, dance routines, magic tricks, confident singers who seemed born under spotlights. Then Lily's name was called. She walked onto the stage slowly, her small frame swallowed by the light. For a moment, she just stood there, blinking. The microphone seemed too tall, the audience too close. That was when the whisper began. Poor girl. Someone near the front leaned toward a friend. She looks terrified. Another murmur followed, pity mixed with curiosity. Daniel felt it like a punch. His heart raced, his hands clenched, and for one unbearable second, he thought Lily might turn and run. But she didn't. She adjusted the microphone with both hands and took a breath so deep it lifted her shoulders. The music started, soft, almost hesitant. Lily opened her mouth, and the first note trembled. A few people shifted in their seats. The whispering continued, subtle but present, like a tide pulling against her.